Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, October 30th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. I'm here currently in Jerusalem. We have XMX Israel on the Sunday, so I'm going to do the video from here and from this beautiful hotel, the Inbal Hotel. Great view. Anyway, let me get into the news. So today is really all about App Indexing Day at the Search Engine Roundtable. The reason for that is we released the Search Engine Roundtable iOS and Android app, a free app that you could download obviously for free in iTunes and Google Play. And you can actually get the latest and greatest news from the Search Engine Roundtable very quickly. It's a fun and great way to look at it. Obviously, it supports push notifications, so I can actually send you notifications directly to your device about breaking stories. I probably will use that maybe 2 or 3 times per week at max. Also, it's fully deployed with Google App Indexing and Apple Universal Search, so I'm going to be testing that and giving back a report to you guys to tell you if it's worth doing or not. So definitely go ahead and download that. There's a blog post featured today at seroundtable.com with links to download it and all the details about that app. First up, the big news this week is that Google announced something called Google RankBrain. And Google RankBrain is basically a query interpretation using artificial intelligence. It basically uses AI to go ahead and figure out what your ambiguous query really means. And Greg Carrado, a senior research scientist at Google, basically said it's basically Google's query interpreter using a gut feeling to actually get a gut feeling of what your actual query is about. It's been live in Google for at least since early this year, they said. I think it's been like a few months. And Google uses this for a very large fraction of their search queries that they see each day, according to Google. It's also probably, they said, the third most important signal that Google uses in their ranking algorithm. It's definitely not exactly like Hummingbird, which is a core infrastructure thing. This is more about a ranking signal. And I have more details about this if you go to the Search Engine Roundtable on October 27th. I'll ask Gary from Google a lot about this in our XMX keynote this Sunday. Also, Gary announced that Penguin will update by the end of the year, specifically within the next 2 months. Which is good news because earlier this week I thought that Gary said that you still have time to update your Penguin links, so that Penguin can actually you can benefit from Penguin, and that kind of signaled to me that Google wasn't exactly ready to launch Penguin in the near future. But it seems like Google is still ready to launch in the next couple months, hopefully. But the reason this is maybe because the next Penguin update will be real-time and continuous, and because of that. When Penguin launches, even if you remove your links a few days later, Google will index those changes and hopefully remove your Penguin penalty within hopefully a week or so, depending on how fast Google indexes those pages. I shared fresh data about my Google Panda recovery this week. It definitely shows that Panda 4.2 was released. I'm currently now noticing a 40% plus uplift in my Google organic traffic to my website, according to Google Analytics. Now, recently, when it first launched a few months ago or in July, I saw a 10% uplift, then I saw a 20% uplift, and now I'm up to over 40% uplift. Search metrics, SEMrush, SimilarWeb all show these uplifts. So definitely Panda was a release, and I'm definitely happy to share my data with you guys. Google had a blog post today, this week, I think it was yesterday, about deceptive and sneaky and unwanted mobile redirects. So obviously Google doesn't like redirects that are sneaky and manipulative. It's against their Google Google Webmaster Guidelines. It's also against the Google Webmaster Guidelines to do mobile sneaky redirects. And this has been in their guidelines since 2014. The blog post that they released yesterday was more about helping webmasters who have these unwanted sneaky redirects by accident. Either they've been hacked or that there's some ads that are manipulating that. So they have a whole blog post helping webmasters get through that so they can actually update their site and remove their manual action. YouTube did a big SEO no-no. They have, if you go to their any video on the site, you notice it's all over HTTPS. So if you try to go to the HTTP version, it will 301 redirect to the HTTPS, which is great. But if you look at the canonical tag in the source code, it's actually showing the HTTP version. So the HTTP is telling Google to go to the HTTP. If you go to the HTTPS, it's telling Google to go to the HTTP, and then there's a 301 redirect going back to the HTTPS. So that's an SEO no-no, and Google says it's really complicated, and that's why it's there. I'm not sure. I guess Google's handling that in their algorithm. Google said, or John Mueller said from Google, do not make your robots.txt file dynamic. don't dynamically generate that file, because it could cause issues in terms of timing and when Google actually fetches that information. You should make your sitemap XML file dynamic, but not your canonical dynamic. Google said the not set line in the Google Analytics Search Engine Optimization Queries report is not a bug. If you look at the Search Analytics report in Google Search Console, it's not going to show you all the queries. It's going to show you most of them, but not all of them. The ones that it doesn't show, it just doesn't show them. Whereas Google Analytics says these not set numbers are the ones that Google Search Console is not showing. Hopefully that makes sense. But it took Google a while to get back to me on that, and it's nice to hear the answer. All right, a few more, four blog posts on, or snippets on Google App Indexing, because again, today is Google App Indexing Day. Again, download the Search Engine Roundtable app on iOS and Android. One is Google said they support multilingual apps with app indexing, and there's 3 ways to support it. I'm not going to go through it in detail because it feels like it's about to rain, and I don't want to get my computer wet outside. Google is currently not giving iOS apps the Google App Indexing API ranking boost. The reason they're not giving it is because they haven't implemented it yet. But hopefully they'll implement it in the future, I don't know. But they're currently not getting the second ranking boost, which is the App Indexing API ranking boost. They are getting the App Indexing boost, but not the App Indexing API boost, if that makes sense. Google internally has site commands and other search operator commands like cache, info at, and stuff like that, specifically for app content. So Googlers internally could actually do a site command to find all the app content for a specific app, but webmasters and searchers cannot. And if they do release it, Maria said they would go ahead and let us know in the Google Plus channels. And finally, on the app indexing side, iOS apps now are showing in mobile Safari for searches in Google Search. So if you have implemented apps that have app indexing and Google has picked up on that, you should start seeing searches on your mobile Safari leading to apps that you have installed on your device. So that's pretty cool. Can't wait to see that for the Search Engine Roundtable app. Google celebrated their AdWords, Google AdWords 15th year anniversary. It actually was last Friday when we did the video last Friday, but Google celebrated it this week with a cool infographic sharing some crazy data on their AdWords growth, from 150 advertisers to over 1 million advertisers. AdWords announced also this week some big news about cross-device conversions, specifically that it's now supported in the conversions column in AdWords, as well as supported by Google. It's integrated with the automated bidding in Google AdWords. It's a big enhancement for Google AdWords, and definitely take a look at that if you are an AdWords user. Finally, Microsoft said Bing has finally turned a profit. In their earnings last week, they announced that Microsoft Bing actually brought in $1 billion, and that actually turned a profit for the Bing search engine, which is great news for competition in the search space. Anyway, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. Again, my name is Barry Schwartz, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at SEOroundtable.com. Again, calling from Israel, Jerusalem, and if you haven't downloaded our app, definitely take a download. It's free, and I would love to give you some feedback on the app indexing results. Thank you, and have a great weekend. I'll see you guys next. Bye.